it. And there you go. And now we will be moving on. And well, where's my meeting? There it is. I see myself. That's good. Hey, welcome everybody to our current event show presented by Soundbroker. I'm your host, Jan Landy. We talk about anything that's on our minds regarding current events, even new or used, whatever it is. I don't care. We just talk. And just remember, everything you hear is an opinion. And this week, I want to wish everybody a very happy and a healthy new year. 2023 is just upon us, and just one bit of housekeeping. I have to leave here at the half-hour mark to catch a flight back to Thailand. So that's just Tina will take over the room, and so basically, I want to welcome you all and thank you so much for what that you provided me with this year. So thanks. Anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching, anybody who's participating, I want to thank you all for being part of my life. And I really do appreciate it. So with that in mind, hey, who's got something to say? Anybody want to say anything?
Okay. I just bought a whole house gas generator for my house.
That looked really cool. I saw the picture on Facebook. Tell us about it.
Well, it's enough to power the whole out. I'm in the canyons. I'm in the canyons of LA. All of our power is on poles. There's no underground. So periodically stuff happens. A transformer blows up, a car hits a pole, and we have power failures. And so I finally said to Myrna, let's do it. So we went out and got a 22 kW generator for the house. Runs on natural gas. They had to put a larger pipe in between the meter and the device because it can pump out some power. And that's it. We're set. Ready for those.
Oh, that's great. Now it's natural gas, so you have to hope that the natural gas doesn't get disrupted, right?
Well, that's only going to get disrupted in the big earthquake. That's the only time that happens. And we could put up a propane tank because it burns both, and we haven't gotten around to that yet. But for now, it's just the power that goes out and the gas stays on. So, yeah.
What kind of storage or battery power does it have?
It's got like a car battery to start it up, and it's on a trickle.
So there's no storage of energy in this unit.
No, it's just a generator. It's quiet.
It's just a generator.
It runs once a week for 7 minutes to keep itself oiled up at half power, and it sounds like a lawnmower, a quiet lawnmower. It's not.
Now, is there a tank on the generator so that it holds a reserve of fuel?
No, that would be a separate LP tank. And you can have that so that it'll transfer over to that if it needs it, but we haven't gone that far yet. We just have the tank. So it's just a generator.
So was that your first New Year's resolution to do that?
It was time. It was time to do it before New Year's, so we can deduct it this year. that's what it was.
So David, that's just a backup. It's just a backup if the other electricity, your power supply falls over.
Yeah, it's all automatic, and it's got enough power for this house plus. We made sure we had lots of power, so no matter what we have running, whether it's in the winter and we just have all the lights on, or in the summer with the air conditioner going, 22 kW is plenty of power.
Yes, it is. So anyway, let's talk about what people did for Christmas. Did anybody do anything special for Christmas? Fred, what did you do for Christmas?
We did Chinese food for lunch. We played bocce ball for about 3 hours out in my front yard. And then we went down the street to another friend's house for another dinner party. And I think I walked home at about 5:30 a.m.
Wow, that was some local party, hey?
It was a local party, yes. Never been to their house before. They've been to our house several times, but never been to their house. So it was good.
Were you inebriated when you walked home?
You could say that.
Mm-hmm. Now, were you fully dressed? Well, we'll talk about that in another show.
Yeah, it's cold
anyway. So yeah, it's been cold all over the United States from what I understand. And New York had the worst blizzards ever. So, I mean, the blizzards were so bad in the United States. What's the story? What happened with Southwest? How did they cancel 80% of their flights?
I'm sure glad I wasn't doing NFL in Buffalo, New York this New Year's like I did 2 years ago.
Just as an aside, it was 84 degrees in LA. on Christmas Day. Just, I don't want to rub it in, but it wasn't bad.
Well, it was 92, and it was 92 here in Ho Chi Minh, and then we went to Da Nang. By the way, in case you don't know, I'm in Vietnam right now, and the reality is that nobody ever told me that Vietnam is cold. I never, you know, in all the movies I've ever seen about Vietnam, or anybody has ever talked to me about Vietnam, nobody ever said to me, "Oh, make sure you bring a jacket when you go to Da Nang, because they do have winter there." And if you saw my Facebook page, we went up to this place called Ba Na Hills, which is, they have this company called Sun World, and it's like a Disney theme park or Universal, and they create these parks, recreational parks. Now, the interesting thing about the Vietnamese people is that they are not really good at giving you precise information. I'll give you an example. The Golden Bridge is, when you hear the name Golden Bridge, you see a picture of it, you think it's a bridge where people walk on or cars drive on, and it's got hands that hold it up. And you would think that that's not in the middle of an amusement park, which of course I didn't think that. So when we went up to Ba Na Hills, I thought we were just going to go up, look, drive over the bridge, take some pictures, and but no, we had to take a 20-minute cable car ride. And what I found out is this particular Sun World contracted with the largest cable car, skiing cable car manufacturer, and they have the ability to carry 10,000 people an hour on this cable car, and the ride is a minimum of 20 minutes. It is amazing. And as you started going up the hill to get to the very top, it turned out that it was about 436 feet, 4,346 feet above sea level. But again, do your own research, because this is, who knows. But basically, as we started going up towards the peak, we started getting into this cloud embankment. And the next thing you know, the car is enveloped in clouds. You can't even see the next cable car in front of you anymore. And when you get up there, it was freezing cold. I mean, like winter cold. And it was the first experience that Bo ever had with winter. And now she understands how she could appreciate the weather that we have here in Thailand. So that's about it. But go look at our Facebook page, my Facebook page, and check out some of these pictures. They're amazingly cool, even if I may say so myself. Anyway, so that's what we did for Christmas. And then we went to this little city called Hoi An. And if you ever get a chance, I guess I would not recommend Vietnam as a destination vacation unless you have seen the rest of the world. It wasn't one of those places that really enveloped me and wrapped me around and said, boy, we love you. What I learned is that they don't speak a lot of English here once you leave the hotel. And their information that they give you is very matter. So if you don't ask specific questions that you need the specific answers for, you're not going to get them. So, and that's what happened to us. And that happened to us twice. Once when we went to Ba Na Hills, and the second time when we ended up going to what they call Marble Mountain, which is basically a mountain in the middle of Da Nang that's right in the heart of Da Nang. And it's about a 15-minute experience, but we allotted 4 hours for that. And after 15 minutes, we ended up sitting in the airport. So there you have it. That was my Christmas. What about you, Rain? What'd you do for Christmas?
I didn't do too much at all. It was my first year in my new unit, and I got invited to go to a couple of places, but I decided to just have a very, very quiet day in my unit. Actually, to be quite honest, I got fossicking in electrons. So I turned my computer from a Windows 8 to a Windows 10. That was quite a mission. And then I got my iPad, and I because I broke an iPad the other day at one of the shows accidentally. It was only a second-hand one that I bought. So I bought another second-hand one. I updated it. So I spent most of the day doing that. And and I cooked up some chicken Kiev and veggies. That was my Christmas. And
Now, did
and
you
I
spend
watched.
it with a friend, or were you alone?
No, by myself. Yeah, here's a piece of trivia. I also went on the YouTube and watched quite a lot of things, but I was interested. So the Fraggle Rock, back to Fraggle Rock, on the 9th of December, they put a cartoon thing up. Jim Henson, it's done by Jim Henson Group, and they started it, and it never stops. But I thought, I was on there this morning, I had a quick look. I thought that he would have got to Christmas now. So Sprocky the dog is sitting at the fireplace, and the fireplace is going, and then every now and again a character like Gobo or one of the characters will come in and look, and then he'll go enjoy the night of the lights, and they're still going. And then every now and again the lights go out. Like, so there was a thing over the mantelpiece of the fire, and the lights go out on the little roundy thing that was there. And so one of the little doozes, which are construction makers, he comes out and he's talking on the phone. And the little crane comes down, takes it away, and they bring back one in with the lights. Anyway, there's a piece of trivia for you that I found. And there was like usually 80 people, and it's never stopped. So I don't know how they set that up. And it obviously goes round in circles because a little character comes out every now and again, but it's in cartoon mode. But anyway, I watched a bit of that. I got quite amused with that. I've watched that a few days now. Just for 5 minutes when I get up and have my breakfast and eat me. Currently, I'm eating Uncle Toby's oats, which I don't know what you've got in the States over there. I'm sure they've got something else that's similar. Oh, and I had a few Kellogg's as well.
I guess it's Quaker oatmeal that they have is the mainstay. But I like what is it called?
I'm leaving.
We have an oatmeal. Yes.
Already, David.
Gotta go. Go to the movies with my wife. So,
All right. Well, listen, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming.
New
This
Year.
is going to be a short show anyway, so it's really good. I might be able to get to the airport even faster than I thought. What do you know?
Hey, Fred. See Wayne.
What are you doing
Happy
for
New
New Year's
Year.
before you go? David, what are you
Happy
doing for
New
New
Year,
Year's?
David.
I'm going to the CES show in Vegas next Wednesday. So who knows?
All right. We'll have to talk. All right.
Adios. Oh,
Happy New Year, Jan. Everyone else.
Happy New Year, Myrna. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay. So anyway, Fred, you got any plans for New Year's?
No.
Well, there you go. Well, I have to tell you, I watched the Harry and Meghan thing. I started watching it. The first episode was pretty good. It's kind of interesting. You see her as an actress because she's an actress, and you wonder
I've got to
how
get back
much
and I got to get back and finish that. I think I'm 4 episodes into it or something, but I watched all of them that I could, and then I know there's more coming out, but they hadn't released them yet. But it was very good.
Well, her on that show, and I see her as an actress in the show Suits, which I'm watching simultaneously to that, and I see she's a very good actress. And the question is how much is that real, and how much is that really acting? Because she's a good actress.
Have you watched all of Suits yet, or what season are you in?
I'm in I haven't hit Catherine Hagel yet, so I don't know where I am in that.
Yeah, you're way early.
I
got a
don't know
ways
how
to
they,
go.
I guess I don't really know, but the character of what's the Eric something or other. Eric is the guy that plays Mike. That's an interesting character that they've developed. I mean, all the characters are very, very, very good, and the actresses and the actors are good-looking people, and there's so much money involved. It's a very intriguing episode, a very intriguing concept. I guess that's why it made so many seasons. But I just got into it recently. So, anyway, Tina, what about you? Tell us about Christmas.
Christmas. Let me see. I was with family in Southern California. It was nice. I had a great Christmas.
And what about New Year's? You got any plans for New Year's?
Going to the Strip.
Very, very good. Anything
The
in particular?
Raiders have a game on Sunday, so we're going to that game as well. Except they just benched Derek Carr for the backup. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, going to the strip, I think we have a suite over there at Mandalay Bay to watch the fireworks all the way around. So it'll be nice.
So do they have the grandstands set up on the strip for the race that's coming up?
No, they won't set them up till next year.
Did they set them up and tear them down for that pre-race thing that they did?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Yeah, they shut down that part of the strip and they did a whole thing there.
Oh, well, anybody have anything else they want to say? I guess otherwise we could wrap this one up early and we'll do it again next year.
Before you go, Jan, I found whether it's interesting or not, I think it's interesting for the sounding breaker. So I found an old, this might be a bit hard to see. Can you read that?
Sonics.
Yeah, Sonics magazine, which was an Australian audio industry magazine. And that one's from 1982. But inside inside it, I don't know if you'll be able to see this properly. So remember I've mentioned, and I've never met him, but he works for Clare Brothers now. So Howard Page, there's an early photo and the wedges at the top are for James Taylor. Can you see that?
Very interesting.
So and then the bottom picture is, I'm trying to get that so you can see it. So that would have been a Jan's in-house console, and I think it was called a JM7, but that's Howard Page, and I think he's only about 30 years old or 34 or somewhere in that. And I just found that, and I thought that was a bit interesting, so I'd show the Zoomy room.
Yes, and it's a very sporty mustache he's displaying there. So yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, I wanted to say one thing. It has nothing to do with what you just said, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But I was listening to a podcast the other day called The Hidden Brain, and I can't pronounce the host's name, but he's super intelligent. And he had this woman who I can't remember her name either. So do your own research. But basically, it was about why people don't do what they say they're going to do in regards to their own lives. And the interesting thing is that we have two distinct beings of ourselves. One is present me, and the other is future me, right? Present me and future me. And so when things are in the present, we enjoy it, oh man, that candy looks really good, I'll eat it. Screw future me that he's got to go on a diet some other time. But right now, present me is going to eat this candy because I'm taking care of me. Screw future me. And there is an interesting, in one of the segments of the show, he emphasizes this by using a Seinfeld clip where Seinfeld is talking about day me and night me, and he says night me's got day me, by the balls, basically. Night me wants to stay up and party and have a great time and stay up and watch reruns and stuff like that, and screw day me because you got to get up at 5 o'clock. Who cares about day me? And day me is at the mercy of night me. And but the reality is that one of the things that I got out of this is that in order to get the future you involved, is that you have to put together goals, and they have to be intermediate goals rather than as you go goals or at the end of the goal, because if you think about when you do a test and you have a test on Thursday night, sometimes you won't start studying till Thursday afternoon, but so the whole idea is that if you set intermediate goals for yourself, you will accomplish what you want. I thought that was really fascinating. We all do that. And I thought it was just me, like you go look at email, you want to send a couple of emails, and then you're looking at the emails, and then all of a sudden, Facebook, and you go look at Facebook, or you want to make some phone calls, and then all of a sudden, I'll look at TikTok instead. And those are the things that keep us from being the most productive. And I thought it was only me, but it turns out it's everybody that has that problem.
I certainly know, Jan, that if you're focused. And one of the things in a technical sense that's really annoyed me probably for the last 10 years is trying to learn how to catch up on the whole networking interconnection of audio equipment. And I'm slowly getting there, but as fast as I seem to learn, the more I seem to be behind. I don't know how you catch, without being involved in the equipment somewhere and the theory and the people around you, which you're not going to get access to here. You get very, very limited access to any of that here, unless you own it. It's just, it's a hard work scenario. Obviously, you could go to the local, if you're lucky, you could work for the local telephone company and they would have a lot of knowledge on networking. But I don't know how does everyone keep up? How do you get going forward in that if you're not in a place where you can get some so I just keep watching YouTube videos, especially the Yamaha ones. The Yamaha ones are great learning curves.
I'll tell you a great video to guy to follow is Dave Rat. Dave Rat, really excellent to follow. You know, social groups such as behind the scenes. I think what's his name? Vince Edwards has a good group as well. But the reality is, it's very hard, Wayne. It's super hard because the magazines are basically advertising
Equipment.
flagships for the people that are advertising in them, and you don't get as much information, but you do get to learn about the new product if you do read some of the trade magazines. Anyway, what's that, Fred? You showing up?
Rescue dog.
Just got my rescue dog rescue from the Stephen Colbert show.
Oh, how cool is that? How cool is that? I've been watching much of TV, of American TV lately, but it's really cool. Anyway, listen, guys, we're going to have to go early. I'll see you next week. I want to thank you. I want to wish you all a very happy, on behalf of Bo and myself and Tina and everybody that's involved. I want to wish everybody a very happy and healthy new year. We'll see you next year. Our current event show will continue. And be safe, stay healthy.
Travel safe. It's
Travel safe. Yeah.
the COVID thing is running rampant over in that part of the world.
No, only in China, not here. I haven't seen it much, and I haven't seen it here at all. Everybody's wearing masks. I mean, it's not mandatory, but everybody's most people are wearing masks. The only people you don't see wearing masks are the guys that look like Anglos like me. I haven't seen one person who's Asian looking without a mask. Not one. And it's not mandatory. They're just doing it because it's one of those things that they've been brought up to use because of pollution. So it's I haven't seen an outbreak of COVID over here. So anyway, with that in mind, remember, be safe, stay healthy. Thanks for coming. And Wayne, I promise you, when I get back to Thailand, I am going to take a picture of me with the Starbucks for you. All right?
Have a great day. Have a great
Bye,
day.
everybody. Be safe.
See you guys.
Stay
Thank
healthy.
you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Tina, talk to you soon.